What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we've got another Melbourne Bounce video. You guys seem to like my last one, so thought I'd do another one more in that like Reese Lowe, Dirty Palm, Joel Fletcher, like real distorted lead, real dirty sort of Melbourne Bounce. So today we're just going to run through a breakdown, a build up and a drop. And this is actually from a new song that I've got coming out very, very soon. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, we're just going to run through our breakdown. This breakdown's a more trappy sort of style breakdown. I wanted something that was a bit different to most of the Melbourne Bounce songs that are out there. It's not like nobody's done this before, but it is something that's just a little bit more unique. First thing I put in just to transition from the first drop into the breakdown was this impact. And then this impact as well. I've just got some crowd noise with the volume automating up. Which really helps build that tension. And then we've got this little white noise riser. Then we've just got like this random synth hit to sort of help fill up some space. We've got some more impacts and stuff. We've got our crowd noise that comes in at full volume now. We've got some snares. And then we've got our synth that starts coming in. And then just before we get into the main part of the breakdown, we've got this little drum fill. It's a very trappy sort of drum fill, just helps really make that transition a lot better. And the main part of the breakdown, we've just got our kick with a little bit of the low end taken out, just so it's not hitting so hard. We've got some more drum fills, the snares again, our crowd noise, some impacts and white noise. Got some little white noise hits. Some crash cymbals. And then we've got a bass that comes in. I'll run through how I made that bass when I get to the drop section. Then next up, we've got some dubstep growls. And then we've got our two main synths that come in. So altogether, this is what our breakdown sounds like. Now, onto our build-up. So this build-up's a very simple one. It's basically just got a bunch of the elements from the breakdown and then a bunch of the elements from the drop, all sort of melding together to make a build-up. So we've got our breakdown synth, second synth, got a riser, and then that just starts rising up an octave when it comes into the second part of the build-up. We've got, again, some impacts. We've got our very important snares. And then again, they just start rising up as the build-up progresses. And we've got some white noise risers. And we've got these other little snares just to create a bit of variation. And then a dubstep growl just to sort of create a little break in the build-up. And then we've got our main drop synth that is slowly rising up. And then we just got a very, very typical EDM vocal hit.
Everybody fucking jump!
So altogether, this is what our build-up sounds like.
Everybody fucking jump!
Now onto the best part, the drop. So first thing, we've just got a kick that's hitting at full power now. And then what I've done here, I just got my kick, faded it off, made it really small and EQ'd out a lot of the low end. just to sort of act as a percussion. It really helps create a bit of variation in the track and create a bit of that bounce. If you're ever struggling to find little percussion hits that work well with your track, I really recommend doing this trick because you're just using that same kick, you know it's going to be in key, you know it's going to work well. Just EQ a bunch of the low end out and then you've got some really, really nice percussion that'll work well with whatever track you're working on. So next up we've got some hats and claps. We've got a white noise like downlifter, some white noise hits, crash cymbal, and then so this is what our drums sound like. Very, very simple, but that's sort of all we needed for this track. Next up, we'll move on to our bass. Bass is made in 3 different layers. So we've just got our sub, which is just a serum preset with a little bit of side chaining on it. We've got a mid-low, and then this is just a sample that I found that just worked really well. I just EQ'd out most of the low end, and then it's just got a bit of side chain on it. And then we've got a mid-high layer. And then this is, again, just a serum preset with most of the lows EQ'd out and then a compressor just doing some side chain. And then I use it as well as like a little, just as like a little filler hit. So this is what our bass and our drums sound like. Next up, we've got some dubstep growls, which really just help fill in the gaps where the bass isn't playing. So you can see without the dubstep noises, it feels quite empty where the bass isn't playing. And then with dubstep noises, you can see it really helps fill up that space and create a bit of variation and something a little bit unique instead of just having an offbeat bass playing the whole time. And then finally, we come into our lead. So again, the lead is just another serum preset. I was going to make an original synth, but this one just worked so well. There's a tiny bit of processing that's being done in serum, but really not much at all. Not much that's worth me showing you what I did, you know, it was just tweaking a few little things. And then we've got this second lead, which again just makes it a bit more of a call and response. With this lead pattern here, it's very bouncy. There's a good mix of long and short notes to help create that variation and create that swing and that bounce of what a Melbourne Bounce song needs. And then we've just got one other little lead that plays the same, it's just a little filler. And then in the second part of our drop, all we've done is just add in a few more hats, some crash cymbals, just to make everything just a little bit more interesting. So that, everybody, is how you go about making a Melbourne Bounce song. I know the breakdown's not really how everybody would do it. It just, I wanted to create something quite unique, but it worked very well, and you know, it does what it needs to. But the drop and all that is, I try and go through and create a lot of variation in the song without making it sound messy, and actually having something that works quite well and gives you that bounce, and using the really dirty, distorted leads really helps with that as well. So this is what our breakdown, build up and drop sound like all together.
Everybody fucking jump!
So that's all we've got for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, give the video a like, leave some comments, do all that sort of stuff, and I will see you on the next one.